Good morning. Contrary to your order of service, I am not Steve Drevick. Steve's not able to be with us here today. My name is Lynn Hickson. I'm a member of the board and your newly elected vice president. Thanks. It is my honor to welcome you here this morning on behalf of the board and the program council. Whether you are here in the building or you're watching online, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, and wherever you are on your journey. If you would like more information on our church, you can visit TVUUC.org and select Stay in Touch. Or there's a visitor card in the seat back pocket in front of you. While you're on our website, you can also click on the Religious Exploration tab to learn more about the education programs, or visit the RE table that's set up in the lobby. Announcements-wise, it's going to be quick. There is a potluck supper, or potluck lunch, after the service if you'll join us in the fellowship hall. And I'm going to put my Claudia hat on now, because I'm also filling in for her. If you're wondering how to give to the church, it's pretty simple. Today's a Generosity Sunday, so everything you give today goes into the general operating fund. You can give by cash or check in the offering baskets. They're on the railings by the door. There's a kiosk in the lobby where you can use a credit card. You can donate to your Realm account online. You can text TVUUC and then the amount you want to give to 73256. If you're watching online, there's a give button, or you can just go to our website, TVUUC.org. There are more announcements and events in the order of service, so please be sure to read through the entire thing before you recycle it today. And as I said, after the service, there is a potluck picnic lunch, so please be sure to join us in the fellowship hall for food and fellowship and conversations. And if you have not already done so, please silence any electronic devices as we enter into worship together.
It's easy if you try. No help below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today.
Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or harm.
a sisterhood of one. Imagine all the people sharing all the world.
You
You
may
may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. We'll live as one. We'll live as one. One.
Good morning. I'm Neil. And that was my daughter's favorite song. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but my dreams are restless. The message I got from Dr. Charles Lomax's sermon last week was that hopes and prayers are empty without action. And my dreams are restless. I suffer from what environmentalist Paul Hawken called divine dissatisfaction, blessed unrest. Today we are opening as well as closing with a familiar benediction, a song to emphasize our need to work together in the great acts of our beloved community. Come, let us worship. Please rise now in body or spirit and sing the chalice lighting song as printed in the order of service.
Good morning again. I'm Carolyn Rogers, and I'm coming to you as a member of the spiritual care team to provide our updates on joys and concerns within the congregation. We have a lot today, so I'm going to briefly say, please find the pastoral care number on the back of your order of service and leave a message. We'll call you right back, but we usually answer all day until in the evening. So, first off, Barbara Johnson is happy to say, I'm at home with home health care and getting stronger every day. She welcomes your visits, but please do call her first before you go. Another great story, Chance Adams, the famous Captain Chance, is home or on his way home today. We stand in awe of his courage and fighting spirit as well as that of his parents, Trish Adams and Ben Hicks. In the last 10 days, Chance has gone through 2 surgeries at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital in Memphis. He is now free of the shunt apparatus in his brain. He was 5 years old in 2021 when he was diagnosed with brain cancer, but next week, on July the 11th, Chance will turn 8 years old, and he is looking forward to a party and a cake. So, Chance, we hope you have a great birthday, and we love and admire you so much. There are a few heavy things here. Casey Clark came up to me today with tears in her eyes, and we cried together as she told me, although her son has a long road of recovery, he had a terrible motorcycle accident in LA. His name is Zach. There is a card for him. He was hit from behind and they left the scene of the accident. She says to emphasize, he is only alive because he was wearing a helmet, an airbag vest, and good gear. So she says, please send love and light and wear your protective gear if you ride a motorcycle. She's adamant about that. So also Jack McElroy is asking that we keep his grandniece, Marissa Piccone, in our hearts. Marissa is 8 years old. She lives in Casa Grande, Arizona, and on her 4th birthday, she had a heart transplant. She's now 8. She has been very thriving and delightful and dynamic until late June. Just recently, her donor heart unexpectedly quit, and she is now in the hospital awaiting a second transplant. So let us hold Marissa and all of her family, including Jack, in the light. And you can sign a card for Marissa as well. Bill Hotz is glad to be feeling good after a lengthy battle with a very rare spinal infection that he picked up mid-March, around the time he was on a cruise down the Amazon. Shortly after his return to the U.S., he was diagnosed with sepsis, and after 2 months of intense treatment, he is now out of the woods. He's got a new workout routine, and he's regaining his strength. Sue Vaughn had a 27 hours in the ER last Saturday night, and she doesn't want to repeat that. She says she thinks that's probably the norm now, but she says all is well, and credits Eunice Turner, who stayed with her for more than half of that time, just in time to go to home and change clothes and come to the shopping cart table at church last week. But she says Eunice is an angel. But cheers for Sue's good health, care, and health, and Eunice's good friendship and support. And Crystal Bradshaw shares this joy. She has a job. She's very happy to have a job. And she has been accepted for working at Home Instead Home Care. So congratulations. Sylvia Smith is feeling more comfortable and enjoying solid food occasionally since having the help of hospice and home health care. She really enjoys having friends visit. She asks that you call her directly to schedule a visit, and please do call and visit, since seeing you is what gives her such pleasure. Be sure to wear a mask. That was also a strong comment. And Barbara Kemper is a really good contact if you need her phone number or any other information. There were so many joys to celebrate in the month of Pride, and some of it was in the newsletter. We started with the Welcoming Congregation team's first Sunday lunch. Many thanks to Lynn Hickson, Trevor Palmer, and some others, working to re-energize the Welcoming Congregation team here at TVUUC. We had the 12th annual Pride Interfaith Gathering with many faith groups and stories and heartfelt stories, and we collected stories, Queer Paths to Spiritual Healing. It was here at TVUUC. South Knox Pride, TVUUC, and Pride Interfaith Knox that TVUUC is a member of had tables there. Someone said to me they had never been anywhere where they had seen such a large percentage of smiling faces. It was really, really great. And then the Appalachian Equality Chorus, where our own Roy Kersey sings, had a great concert, and many of us heard more heartfelt stories. And then last Sunday, Bethel AME had their annual Choir Day reunion. A lot of us attended. And although it was not a Pride event, I have been reassured by the minister, Myron Hill, who led the community chorus here for the Good Friday service, that they are an affirming congregation. And this is really good news that the Bethel AME group is moving in that direction to make it a proclamation. So that's a good thing. So we carry in our hearts all these families dealing with cancer, with memory loss with care and the feeling of loss of companionship with their loved ones. We're grateful to so many of you who unofficially provide them rides and keep up with them and just you quietly call, you provide food and so many other things. If you want to be on a list to do that, you can contact me. So I leave you with these thoughts. Stop by the caring table and sign those cards. Text someone that you're thinking of them. And join me in singing to all of these and those that we've held in privacy. We are sending you light. We are sending you light to heal you, to hold you. We are sending you light to hold you in love. We are sending you light to heal you, to hold you. We are sending you light to hold you in love. Let's stop for just a few seconds of silence and hold these in our hearts. Amen.
Oh, I am waking up to find my world between the dying and being reborn. I see what is and I see what could be and close my eyes again and go back to sleep.
Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide.
How can I change our course? I'm just a lonely voice. Wish I could lose myself in all the noise. But if we all would rise, a generation proud with a mighty song, we could turn this world around.
Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Ancestors are behind, and before me every child. I bring the power of a long unbroken line.
So when our time is through, I want to know, did what we came to do
For the future ones,
so in our darkest days,
may we all be strong.
give our lives so life may go on.
Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide.
Make me a vessel for the
Turning of
the
the tide.
God, I love them. About 30 years ago, Catherine and I met at an interdisciplinary committee meeting. We organized an interdisciplinary course. She became a Greenberg. She has always had formidable responsibilities, but has made time to be a mother and grandmother, have various joints replaced, shoulder, hip, knee is next, and speak out for justice on numerous social action projects. Kathy is a world traveler in the service of her passion to help non-traditional and underachieving teachers' learnings. She got intense encouragement from her doctorate at the Peabody College of Vanderbilt and as a Fulbright research scholar in Israel, and then grants won while she was a professor at UT. Those grants led to research and publications and frequent invitations to speak about her work, where once, a couple of years ago, she was very startled to be introduced as legendary. After retirement, she was awarded the rank of Professor Emerita, and the work goes on. Here at TVUUC and in her public service work on behalf of restoration of voting rights to the disenfranchised, she found time through all of this for stints as president of her professional society, president of the Faculty Senate, president at TVUUC. And that's Kathy.
Good morning, everyone. I wish we could talk about our hearts like we talk about the weather, because whether or not we are okay is more important than the chance of rain. That's a quote from R.H. Swanee. It's meaningful to me because that is what I intend to do, or I intend for us to do this morning. Talk about my heart and perhaps yours, especially when we feel blessed unrest in the face of slow or stalled social action, as this week. And I don't know about you, but all that is happening in this life-changing year has my heart feeling battered. But I hope with all my heart that, like Maya Angelou in her poem, Still I Rise, I can say for all who receive injustice and all who hope to make that change, you may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Someone said to me recently, but there's nothing we can do. And I replied, yes, we can. Some or most of you may think I'm a Pollyanna, but I ask you to listen to be influenced. More about that later. And I'm not going to share the academic and philosophical thinking about all of this, but I want everyone to know that to many in communication, psychology, education, and related fields, as well as philosophers writing, for example, about perception, that much is known about what we can do and what needs to be done. And I want to begin with a personal story. Last fall, Neil and I were visiting friends in Taos, New Mexico, including Martha Shep, former daughter-in-law of longtime TVUUCer Tom Ennis. Martha invited us to visit the Buddhist stupa, a traditional site for restoration of the spirit in a nearby ecumenical community where she lives. While there, I talked with the spiritual leader, Halise Rose, and felt compelled to share with her my heavy heart. A year prior, the momentum to work for improvement in the process for restoring voting rights in Tennessee was strong in the League of Women Voters. We had a statewide steering committee, activities ongoing at local league level, and volunteers to help with a survey of state officials. As a league board member, my role was to coordinate these efforts, write and share a report of our survey. But members were becoming discouraged by the lack of change in due process that our survey was revealing. Then, the Tennessee Elections Coordinator announced major changes in the voter restoration process that brought everything to a screeching halt. I became preoccupied with a blessed unrest. Earlier, I learned that even after paying their debt in society, people convicted of a felony face many problems that prevent their full restoration to a place in civil society. For example, almost 500,000 Tennesseans remain disenfranchised after completing their sentence. That is about 1 in 13 citizens of Tennessee. Further, more than 20% of all African Americans of voting age in Tennessee cannot vote. Their treatment in Tennessee is far, far worse than almost every other state, even before major requirements were added last August, a few weeks before Neil and I traveled to New Mexico. While at the stupa, this little light of mine, as we sang last Sunday, was getting weaker and weaker. And as the saying goes, and as the theme for today's service, this, my dear, is the greatest challenge of being alive, to witness the injustice of this world and not allow it to consume our light. And then Halise helped me see a bigger picture. The majority of legislators and policy administrators, she said, whether they realize it or not, want to permanently punish individuals who are convicted of crimes. They do not sense the damage to society and everyone's safety and security that occur when people's citizenship rights are denied. And the myth created by this collective imagination sends powerful negative energy that can become overwhelming. It was only natural that I felt this way, she said. But the light we can bring to social action is focused on positive energy that is always there if we can find it. As I talked with Halise, I became aware of a growing sense of hope that has not and will not leave me. As the song Blessed Unrest tells us, I can't close my eyes again and go back to sleep. And it was there all the time. At some level, I knew this already, because our benediction often brings tears to my eyes. It points to a world that we can strive to build where blessed unrest can fuel social action. And upon return home, I learned that many caring people and some organizations, especially organizations and groups of attorneys, were already working hard for individuals seeking voter restoration. For after the 2023 changes, most individuals need legal assistance in order to get through the process of restoring their voting rights. Our benediction states, "Rise above differences and stand in love and understanding one." But how do we work towards that, really? How do we see beyond our differences? How can we ever declare that fear and hate are done? I know many of you have a strong sense of blessed unrest. You have and continue to do amazing things to bring social justice. Justice Knox, Family Promise, I could go on and on. But during this service, I invite you to join with us in reflection on the meaning of our benediction through a dialogue back and forth of song, hymns, and the beautiful singing of Little Brother and the Sisterhood, a poem, a reading, and the homily. Please rise now in body or spirit to sing hymn 159, "This Is My Song."
Finlandia is magnificent music, and Lloyd Stone's words for the hymn passage are very important. Switch gears. The Brooklyn-born lyricist Yip Harburg also wrote a song about truth, beauty, and transcendence. You know his words. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then, oh, why can't I? He once commented, words make you think a thought. Music makes you feel a feeling. A song makes you feel a thought. How does "This Is My Song" make you feel? Lloyd Stone's words emphasized that this is a hymn to a God of all the nations, in this country where my heart is. I know that other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. This is Sonder, a new word for many of us, speaking to lands populated with people that have their own ambitions, friends, routines, worries, and inherited craziness. Let me tell you more about Sonder. It is a noun that means, quote, the realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own. Sonder acknowledges that you are the main character, the protagonist. You are the star at the center of your own unfolding story, the epic of you. You are surrounded by your supporting cast, friends, family, hanging in your immediate orbit. Scattered a little further out, a network of acquaintances who drift in and out of contact over the years. But there in the background, faint and out of focus, are the extras. But they are also living lives in which you might appear only once, as an extra sipping coffee, in the background, as a blur of traffic passing on the highway, as a lighted window at dusk. In other words, a state of Sonder. Each of us is at once a hero when in this state, a supporting cast member and an extra in overlapping stories. On my busy, bustling campus, I pass dozens of people and often exchange small talk and platitudes. Hi, how you doing? Fine. But once impulsively, I asked, are you sure? And the door opened a little more, and I was glad. Much as in our congregation's customary final act of weekly worship, my world becomes larger, deeper, more meaningful.
For me, the first line of our benediction, let people living in all lands, is speaking about Sonder. It is a powerful urging about something I call listening to be influenced. During COVID, a neighbor we all refer to as our angel began an outdoor gathering, a happy hour every Friday evening, weather permitting, and with a fire to warm us as needed. We continue to gather with about 12 to 20 people participating each week. Neil and I are popular. I think it's because we are the only liberals who attend these gatherings. I think most people want to be at least a little bit open to those who are different, so we're a token of openness, as they are to us. It sounds scary, but the angel set a rule early on. Politics are off limits when the Greenbergs are here. By participating most weeks, we find that we share so much with these folks. We share a common essence. We find they are kind, caring, and fun to be with. Many of them participate in various kinds of social activities, really. Sometimes, though, we do have political discussions with a few of these neighbors. Just after Trump's conviction, one told me she could never vote for Trump because he disgusts her. But then she added quickly, Biden is a horrible president and she could never vote for him. I wanted to reason with her, but I know I need to work on my Sondering with her first. How? I need to let Sonder motivate me to overcome my assumptions and find out more about her lived experiences that led to these beliefs. But from a distance, when we aren't discussing politics, I didn't recognize this need.
From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope. It's the voice of peace. It's the voice of everyone. From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. And there are no guns, no bombs, and no disease, no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They're the songs of everyone. God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us. From a distance, you look like my friend, even though we are at war. From a distance, I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting is for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes. It's the love of loves. It's the heart of everyone. God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us. From a distance, you are the hope of hopes. You are the love of loves. This is the song of everyone. Ooh, from a distance. Ooh.
Our benediction includes this phrase, to declare that fear and hate are done. As I seek change in policies about voter restoration, I've learned a great deal from others active in this effort. One attorney engaged in a class action suit for those denied that right, and who asked us to conduct our survey, tells me repeatedly that Tennessee laws about voter restoration are clearly motivated by fear and hate. Fear and hate are primal and intense human emotions in response to perceived or recognized dangers or threats. But they are often hidden. Like alligators, they lurk in the murk. From a distance, they are difficult to see, and for that reason, more difficult to understand. As part of my efforts with the local League of Women Voters, I participate in the Knoxville Area Urban League's special program for those re-entering society. I help with the orientation sessions, talking about the importance of voting in a democracy and how to overcome hurdles to registering and voting. While most participants are eager to learn, I recall one angry man who refused to take a handout from me. even when I suggested that he just share it with friends or family. He was struggling to remain polite. I was struggling to understand his perspective, something almost impossible given my own life history. But I found a way to show more respect in the future. I began my presentation and discussion differently now. I say, you don't know me, and I don't know you, but I do know two things. One, you are blessed to be able to participate in this reentry program that the Urban League provides, and the legal assistance provided by the UT Legal Clinic and judges who volunteer to meet with you outside the courtroom. For many people are very sad that they made that mistake that was a felony, and they are traumatized by going back into court, literally into the building. I remember an attorney telling me she had to hold a woman up because she was so traumatized. They don't meet my stereotype of somebody that's done a horrible deed and convicted of a crime. And then I added, and you are also smart because you chose to join this group, this community with others who can offer support, and you can offer support to them. And now heads nod, yes, I'm glad I'm here with this group and not all by myself. Together with each other and experts who can help you, you can overcome the hurdles in the process to regain full citizenship. Please rise in body or spirit to sing hymn 169, We Shall Overcome. Our benediction tells us to rise above differences, but how? For it is not only fear and hate that bring social injustice, it is also something more basic, as Yuval Noah Harari discussed in his book, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. Harari, if I'm saying that right, stated, any large-scale human cooperation, whether a modern state a medieval church, an ancient city, or an archaic tribe is rooted in common myths that exist only in people's collective imagination. Yet none of these things exist outside the stories that people invent and tell one another. Nationally, we are rigidifying liberal myths and conservative myths, often supported by alternative interpretations of the same facts. We must listen to be influenced. That doesn't mean we lay down and accept the other's worldview. It does mean we open to understand what lies beneath it and seek the common essence. In today's political world, that is anything but easy. Jean Valentine's poem, Sanctuary, is a powerful description of difficulties in listening to be influenced. Not necessarily to agree with the other's perspective, but to listen enough to hear and talk around our own assumptions that keep popping up. Valentine's poem is a dialogue with oneself. I'll share just an excerpt. What is it like for you? To wait in the quiet, not to scatter the voices? What are you afraid of? Drown out, not make a house out of my own words, to be quiet in another throat, others' eyes. Listen for what it's like to be there. What word? What silence? Allowing, uncertain, to drift in the restlessness, repose, to run like water. What do you dread in this room right now? Not listening, not now, not watching, safe inside my own skin. To die not having listened, not having asked, to a scattered life. Yes, I know, the thread you have to keep finding over again to follow it back to life. I know, impossible sometimes. And we must listen even while the storm in our heart is raging. And we must listen and we must speak now.
Listen, listen, while the storm in your heart is raging. Listen, listen. Listen, listen to the echoes of martyrs praying. Listen, listen. Listen, brothers and sisters, listen, listen. I swear we'll never find a way to where we're going. All alone, don't take your eyes off the road. Can you hear the bells ring out? Speak now, speak now. Whoa. Can you hear the angels sing loud? Speak now, speak now. Listen, listen to the message of hope in the whispers of ghosts. Listen, listen. Listen, for the children will grow on the seeds that we sow. They listen, oh yeah, they listen. Oh, listen. Brothers and sisters, listen, listen. I swear we'll never find a way to where we're going. All alone, don't take your eyes
of the road. Can you hear the bells ring out? Speak now, speak now. Can you hear the angels cry out? Speak now, speak now.
Don't you hold your tongue.
Speak now.
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 Speak now. Angels, speak now.
Speak now.
Speak now.
Speak now.
Speak now.
Our benediction also tells us to rise as one in love and understanding. But what does it really mean? When standing for social justice, one must remain steadfast when confronted with the inevitable and often toxic resistance to change. For change necessarily involves disintegration and renewal. Fear and hope often intermingle. But what about love? Neil likes a line from the 18th century scholar Goethe, also a poet. We cannot understand what we do not first love. Love is the positive energy that is always there if we can find it. It eases the struggle. And standing as one with others provides the support we need. For then we can steadfastly join Zo Tobi in saying, "Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide." Please rise and body your spirit to sing hymn 121, "We'll Build a Land." Reinhard Niebuhr, author of the Serenity Prayer, said, and I quote, "Nothing worth doing is completed in our lifetime. Therefore, we are saved by hope. Nothing true or beautiful or good makes complete sense in any immediate context of history. Therefore, we are saved by faith. Nothing we do, however virtuous, can be accomplished alone. Therefore, we are saved by love." We're going to sing the benediction one more time. Then you may greet your neighbor. And if you don't need to rush too quickly inside, I strongly encourage you to stay for the postlude, Rise Up. It's beautiful, beautiful words and beautiful, as we know, beautiful singing of those words. So please rise, benediction. You may now greet your neighbor and then hear our last song.
He need a mic. Okay, great. Paul.
Broken down and tired, living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but a seed in you, so we're gonna walk it out. Ooh, mountain, we're gonna walk it out. And mountain, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the aches, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. So, ooh, mountain, and ooh, mountains, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. I'll rise up, rise like the day, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, high like the waves, we'll rise up, in spite of the ache.